Welcome back to the coin world. Old coin review and value, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and the hidden value in your pocket change. Welcome back to my channel, where every old coin tells a story and sometimes that story can change your life. Today we're diving deep into a remarkable piece of American history, the 1981 Liberty Kennedy half dollar. If you have this coin lying around in your drawers, trust me, it might turn the tables for you. Stick around till the end of the video to find out its shocking value and how you can actually sell it for a great price. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar carries more than just the image of a president. It holds an entire era of American resilience, change, and commemoration. This coin was minted during a time when the United States was slowly transitioning out of the economic turmoil of the 1970s. The coin pays tribute to President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy still echoed strongly across America nearly 2 decades after his assassination. The design itself was crafted with meaning. On the obverse side you'll find the portrait of President Kennedy, sculpted by Gilroy Roberts, symbolizing honor and leadership. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, shows the presidential seal, an eagle with a shield, clutching olive branches and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. Together, these designs make the coin not only valuable but deeply symbolic of American ideals. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar was minted primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While most of these coins were made for collectors rather than circulation, there are rare varieties and minting errors that make some pieces incredibly valuable today. Some were struck with minor doubling on the date or lettering, while others were minted using proof dies that gave them a mirror-like finish. Coins in pristine condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, can fetch impressive prices in today's market. Another fascinating aspect is how the composition of the Kennedy half dollar changed over time. While the earliest versions contained 90% silver, by 1981, they were made primarily from copper nickel clad. However, certain special proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1981 featured exceptional craftsmanship and are highly sought after by serious collectors. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar also holds a nostalgic place in American hearts. For many, it represents a reminder of an inspiring leader who encouraged a nation to dream big. Collectors and history enthusiasts often view it as a tribute not only to Kennedy but also to an era defined by ambition and progress. That emotional connection, combined with its limited mintage and rarity of high-grade examples, gives this coin its unique charm. When you look at this coin closely, the fine detailing on Kennedy's portrait, the sharpness of the eagle on the back, and the bold lettering all speak of superior craftsmanship, something modern minting rarely achieves at this level. Each 1981 Kennedy half dollar carries a trace of that legacy, making it a small but powerful piece of history that you can actually. Today, I'm going to talk about a coin that could completely change the way you look at your small change, the Liberty 5-cent 1954 coin. If you have this coin in your collection, it might just turn the tables for you. Stick around till the end of the video because I'll reveal its potential price and how you can sell it to get the best value possible. The Liberty 5-cent 1954 coin, often referred to as the Jefferson Nickel, is more than just a piece of currency. It's a living piece of American history that carries the legacy of resilience, design mastery, and post-war optimism. The 1954 nickel belongs to the series first introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers, and the author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin captures Jefferson's profile on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1954, the United States was in the midst of remarkable change. The war was over, the economy was booming, and the American dream was in full motion. Coins minted during this period reflected not only the country's prosperity, but also its commitment to stability and tradition. The Jefferson nickel was an enduring symbol of that period, sturdy, reliable, and deeply American in every way. What makes the 1954 Liberty 5-cent coin special is the variations that emerged from different U.S. mints. That year, coins were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark tells a unique story. The 195 from San Francisco, for example, was among the last nickels produced before the mint temporarily halted production the following year. Collectors value these distinctions because they mark turning points in minting history. Over time, these coins have become sought-after treasures for collectors, especially those with clean crisp details and mirror-like surfaces. Some rare examples of the 1954 nickel feature striking errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, or weak strikes which can dramatically increase their value. A simple flaw made decades ago by the US Mint could now make your coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. The composition of the coin also adds to its legacy. Made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, it was designed to withstand circulation without losing its luster easily. Despite being made for everyday use, the artistic detail on Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's intricate design turned an ordinary coin into a timeless collectible. The deeper you explore the 1954 Liberty 5-cent coin, the more fascinating its history becomes. During that decade, nickels weren't just currency, they were symbols of confidence in America's progress. People used them in diners, drive-ins, and jukeboxes across the nation. Each coin passed through countless hands, each carrying stories of daily life in the golden age of America. Today, collectors and enthusiasts around the world are rediscovering these small yet powerful artifacts. Nickel, in its later years, has been part of American coinage since the early 20th century. By 1977, this coin was not just a piece of circulating currency. It was a continuation of a long tradition that linked everyday Americans to their nation's heritage. The obverse of the coin features a proud portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, while the reverse displays his iconic home, Monticello. This design, originally introduced in 1938, had already become a cornerstone of U.S. coinage by the time 1977 rolled around. The year 1977 itself was a fascinating period in American history. The United States was emerging from the shadows of the Vietnam War and grappling with economic challenges such as inflation and unemployment. Everyday purchases were often made with nickels like these, giving them a place in the rhythm of daily life. For collectors, however, 1977 nickels now serve as a snapshot of the era, reflecting both the artistry of American coinage and the practical role coins played in society. Production of the 1977 Liberty 5-cent coin was handled at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with no mint mark on Philadelphia coins and a D marking coin struck in Denver. There were millions produced, making them widely available at the time. Yet, as any seasoned collector knows, not all coins are created equal. While the majority circulated heavily and show signs of wear, a smaller percentage survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. These are the coins that today capture the attention of collectors and investors alike. Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today, we're traveling back to the year 1940 to uncover the fascinating story behind the Liberty 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another everyday nickel, but its place in American history and numismatics is far more significant than many realize. The year 1940 was a time when the United States was on the brink of monumental change. While the nation had not yet entered World War II, the effects of the global conflict were being felt strongly. The American economy was recovering from the Great Depression and industries were shifting gears to support war efforts abroad. This changing landscape influenced not only politics and economics but also the country's coinage. The Liberty 5-cent coin of 1940 features the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson, America's third president and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The design was introduced in 1938, replacing the long-running Buffalo nickel series, created by artist Felix Schlag. The Jefferson nickel represented a more classical and architectural vision of American identity. On the obverse side, Jefferson's profile faces left. The inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1940 surround his portrait. The reverse depicts Monticello Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, a symbol of his intellect, innovation, and connection to American ideals. Above Monticello is the Latin motto "E pluribus unum." Below it reads Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. The year 1940 saw the continued production of this iconic design. This was only the third full year of the Jefferson nickel series, making early examples like the 1940 issue historically important for collectors. Production occurred at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each leaving its mark on the coinage of the era. The Philadelphia mint, which struck coins without a mint mark. At this time produced the largest number of 1940 nickels. Denver coins bore the D mint mark while San Francisco coins were marked with an S. Together these issues reflect the scale of coinage needed to support a growing economy still recovering from economic hardship. In total, more than 176 million Jefferson nickels were struck in 1940. Philadelphia produced approximately 176,485,000 coins. Denver struck around 43,540,000, and San Francisco contributed about 39,690,000. These numbers show the massive demand for coinage in daily transactions as the economy regained momentum. What makes the 1940 nickel especially fascinating is its position at the crossroads between peacetime coinage and the dramatic changes that would come during World War II. Just 2 years later, in 1942, the U.S. Mint would alter the composition of the nickel, removing most of the nickel metal and introducing the famous silver wartime nickels to conserve materials for the war effort. The 1940 Liberty 5-cent coins were still made from the original composition of 75. A simple 5-cent piece from 1941 can hold a story and a value that will surprise you. Stick around until the end of the video because I'll reveal how valuable it can be and exactly how you can sell it. But at the very end, comment the price in the comment box and I'll personally guide you on its exact value and the selling procedure. The Liberty 5-cent coin from 1941, often referred to as the Jefferson nickel, stands as a fascinating piece of American history. It was struck during a time when the world was on the brink of massive change. As the United States watched global events unfold in Europe and Asia, the mint continued to produce these 5-cent pieces that would soon play their own role during the war years. The 1941 nickel represents the last fully pre-war design and composition before wartime. Adjustments would change the very metal content of these coins. The design of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, created by Felix Schlag. This design was first introduced in 1938, replacing the buffalo nickel. Schlag's design quickly became an American classic. Jefferson's profile faces left, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," with the date along the edge. The reverse showcases the famous Monticello Jefferson's Virginia home, with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The architectural beauty of Monticello made this coin instantly recognizable to anyone who held it. In 1941, production of these nickels was massive as the U.S. economy was still recovering from the Great Depression and gearing toward wartime production. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints struck millions of these coins. Philadelphia produced the majority, but collectors today know that coins from Denver and San Francisco, particularly in high grades, can be worth far more. One of the reasons the 1941 nickel has gained attention is because of the transitional period it represents. Within just a couple of years, silver would be added to the alloy to conserve nickel for wartime materials. This makes the 1941 issue the last standard nickel composition before the famous wartime silver nickels were introduced in late 1942. Collectors look for several features when examining a 1941 nickel. Full steps on Monticello are one of the most prized attributes. A coin that displays all the steps clearly on Monticello's staircase indicates an exceptional strike, and these examples command premium prices, especially in higher mint state grades. Varieties also play a significant role. There are several known repunched mint marks and die varieties that can make a 1941 nickel far more valuable than face value. Some coins exhibit double dies or striking anomalies that intrigue advanced collectors. The historical context of this coin adds another layer of depth. Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating history of the Liberty 5-cent coin from the year 1990. At first glance, it may look like just another nickel in your pocket, but this small piece of metal carries decades of history, economic change, and hidden potential that might surprise even seasoned collectors. Its journey from minting to modern collector's treasure is full of twists and details that reveal why the 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin remains a captivating part of American numismatic heritage. The 5-cent coin has long been a reflection of America's evolving identity. By 1990, the Jefferson nickel design, first introduced in 1938, had already been in circulation for over 50 years. The obverse features the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States, whose vision shaped much of the early republic. The reverse depicts his beloved home, Monticello, a symbol of architectural beauty and Jefferson's intellectual legacy. This classic design continued to appear on millions of coins minted in 1990, maintaining a link to America's past while circulating in a modern economic landscape. The year 1990 was an interesting time in U.S. history. Marked the end of the 1980s, a decade of economic growth, technological innovation, and shifting global dynamics. The coinage of this year captured that transitional period. Millions of 5-cent coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, each bearing their distinctive mint marks. The Philadelphia mint used no mint mark during this period, while the Denver mint displayed a small D, allowing collectors to distinguish between the two sources. Although the design remained unchanged, the 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin was produced with advanced minting technologies that improved strike quality and die precision. The U.S. Mint had refined its processes over the decades, meaning that many coins from this era were well struck with sharper details on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns. This makes high-grade examples particularly appealing to collectors. Today's pristine strikes highlight the elegance of the original design. One fascinating aspect of 1990 nickels is their role in everyday commerce. These coins passed through countless hands during a time when the U.S. was undergoing rapid cultural and economic shifts. They were used in gas stations when fuel prices were low compared to today, in payphones that lined busy streets, in vending machines, diners, and grocery stores that defined the everyday American experience of the early 90s. For collectors, the 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin stands out not because of a dramatic design change but because of the minting variations and condition-based value differences that can elevate its worth. In circulated condition, most of these coins remain common. However, coins preserved in mint state condition, particularly those graded MS66 and above, can command strong interest among numismatists. Behind the production of this coin is the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest operating mint in the United States, and the Denver Mint, which had been producing coins since 1906. Both facilities employed modern machinery in 1990, allowing them to strike billions of coins with precision. These mints are not just factories. They are living institutions that tell the story of American industry, technology, and artistry. The reverse design featuring Monticello continued to honor Jefferson's architectural masterpiece. By 1990, Monticello had become a well-preserved historic site, visited by millions who admired its neoclassical beauty. The coin's design immortalizes that image, making every nickel a miniature tribute to one of America's most influential founding fathers. The nickel's copper nickel composition had remained stable since the end of World War II. This blend of metals gave the coin durability, allowing many 1990 nickels to survive in circulation for decades without heavy wear. Some are still found today in pocket change, which adds a layer of nostalgia for collectors who remember using these coins in their youth. For many collectors, part of the thrill of numismatics is the idea that a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary stories. A 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin may have traveled across states, exchanged hands thousands of times, and witnessed the daily lives of countless individuals, from students buying lunch to families filling their cars with gas during summer road trips. As the digital age advanced in the 1990s, coins like these became symbols of a rapidly changing world. While technology was transforming communication and commerce, physical coins remained an essential part of daily life, grounding people in a tactile reality that digital transactions could not replicate. Collectors today often search for 1990 nickels in uncirculated rolls, mint sets, or inherited collections, hoping to find high-grade examples or rare errors. Some of these coins have made their way to grading services, where they receive professional evaluations that determine their place in the numismatic market. The value of a 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin depends on factors like mint mark, strike quality, grade, and the presence of errors. While most remain affordable, exceptional specimens have achieved impressive auction results, especially when preserved in flawless condition. These coins remind collectors that quality and rarity often intersect in unexpected ways. This coin also represents a period just before major design changes swept through U.S. coinage. The 1990 nickel is part of the last era of classic designs before state quarters and other modern programs. began transforming America's coins in the late 1990s and early 2000s. It stands as a testament to the enduring power of traditional motifs. In educational contexts, coins like the 1990 nickel serve as teaching tools about economics, art, and today we're diving deep into the mesmerizing and emotional history of the 1980 half dollar, a coin that doesn't just shine in your hand, it carries the spirit of an era, the memory of a leader, and the legacy of American pride. And believe me, by the end of this story, you'll never look at a half dollar the same way again. The 1980 half dollar, also known as the Kennedy half dollar, stands as one of the most iconic coins in the history of the United States. Mint, it's not just a piece of metal, it's a living monument to President John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, whose sudden death in 1963 left the world in shock and sorrow. This coin, born out of grief and admiration, became one of the most beloved designs ever struck by the U.S. Mint. To understand the 1980 half dollar, we must first journey back to the moment of its creation. In late November 1963, after the tragic assassination of Kennedy, there was an overwhelming demand from the American people to honor him. Within weeks, plans were set in motion to place his image on a coin, something that had never happened so quickly before. The half-dollar denomination was chosen as it was a coin associated with prestige and respect. The design came together swiftly. Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the Mint, crafted the portrait of Kennedy that graces the obverse side. It's based on a presidential medal he had designed earlier that same year, capturing Kennedy's determination and grace. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo, another master engraver, designed the elegant presidential seal, an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch surrounded by 50 stars. Together, these designs made the coin not just currency but a symbol of remembrance. Fast forward to 1980, the Kennedy half dollar had already been in circulation for 16 years, but this particular year marked a transformation. By 1980, silver was no longer used in these coins. Instead, the half dollar was made of copper nickel clad composition, a durable blend of metals designed to shine bright while withstanding the test of time. The 1980 half dollar was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. The San Francisco Mint produced the brilliant proof versions, crafted especially for collectors. The Philadelphia and Denver Mints, meanwhile, produced coins for circulation, but even among these, rare varieties and sharp strikes made some stand out as collectors' treasures. What makes this coin fascinating is its cultural significance. By 1980, the Kennedy half dollar was no longer widely used in daily transactions. People had started keeping them as keepsake souvenirs or tributes to a time of hope and idealism. To hold one was to hold on to the dream of Camelot, that brief golden era of American optimism, led by John F. Kennedy.